right, modifying up a little bit, 71.25 and 70.25, long on the S&P. Upside objective at the moment, I mean, realistically, looking at this move up, we could seriously float targets all the way up at 90.75. I mean, that is a viable target right now. Now, I'm not saying that we're necessarily going to get up to that point, but I mean, realistically, that is a viable target. So I'm long on the S&P at 71.25. If you're taking it as a scalp, the scalp's already done, but I'm looking at this as a potential for a very strong leg up, at least maybe to test the highs. And I'm going to take this with a little bit of a wider approach. I'm not looking at this necessarily as a scalp, not necessarily a swing, kind of in between, right? This is a more relaxed approach to this type of trade. If you do need a stop placement, stop would be below the lows if that's the type of man. I mean, if you're already scalping, you're already out of the trade. It already bounced up almost immediately for ticks. But 51.50 would be the stop placement below the low a day. If you're looking for a stop placement. Let's see, 10.15 ES long. All right, so actual risk targets on the S&P are at 74. Buyers do have the capability of maybe looking for a secondary lift higher. I'll look to add a second contract here at 71 on the S&P. There is a little bit of bear candle gapping, but that was just filled in. Kind of hoping they fill me at 71 so I can exit one at actual risk and then try to trail the final one for the bigger target. Second contract filled, so I'll look to exit one at 74 and exit the other at the full candle gap objective now. I've got a little bit of play that we can get going here. I'm going to short a little bit here on crude. This was as expected and popping higher. Not a surprise to see it fade back a little bit. Target at 51. So it came out as expected. As expected for crude oil, negative 11.1 was API, came out at negative 10. Looking for an exit at 51, target filled. Target filled. S&P rallying higher, 74 is that target. That's the one-to-one actual risk target on one of the contracts. And then we can go for the bigger target. Target filled on the S&P. First target filled on the S&P. Crude oil catching another pop to the upside, short on crude. At 61 again, really? 61 again. We'll sell more at 71. Big pop higher on the S&P. So stop is now at break even, and I'm going to put break even on the earlier entry at 71.25 rather. Now it's just a matter of, actually, I'm not going to put the stop there until we break the high. I'm not interested in moving it until it actually goes further than it already has been in my favor. So I'll look to utilize the aggressive trail, but it's got to break above first. Need to see a new high a day. Crude oil pushing back down, targets at 51, almost there. Came one tick away from the target. Can it slide down and finish the job? Tested the target, filled, there we go. Crude oil fills the target. Oish. That is a massive rejection on the S&P. Big failure move here on the S&P. Massive failure on the S&P. Let's see if they can finish it and go back up again. That was a big rejection off the high closes. We still have 1:30 on the candle. So, I mean, there's still time for it to stick the landing and go back up again. If we can make a new high, stop moves to break even, I will aggressive trail the rest of the way up. Crude oil had 2 scalps at the exact same price, so you can't really see them there, but they're there. Personal preference. Stop moves up to 74. Woo, here we go. Here we go. At 80.5, stop moves to 78.5. 80.5, stop moves to 78.5. Hasn't happened yet. Stops at 74 right now. Big blow off on the highs. Lots and lots and lots of volume. Holy crap. We got above that area, that's for sure. Can we get another push higher? Utilizing the aggressive trail on the way up to make sure that this trade does not turn into a loss. Need to see 80.5. At 80.5, we can lock in 78.5. Big volume coming in here. Huge buy volume towards the top of that candle. Back to a new high. I'm going to lock in a little bit early, 77. Come on, buyers, keep it going. 78.5 locked in, 78.5 locked in. At 81.5, stop moves to 80.5. At 81.5, stop moves to 80.5. Keep going, S&P. Ooh, lordy. Stop is in at 78.5 at the moment. At 81.5, stop moves to 80.5. Let's see if the buyers have enough to keep this thing trucking. Don't pull back yet, S&P. Come on. Oof, this is going to be tight. There's a lot of profit taking coming down here. You sound like the pit now, yeah. 79, 79, 78 quarter, 78 half, 78 half, 79 quarter, 78 half. Stopped out on the S&P. Stopped out in the S&P. Beautiful move.